Buddhassa, Vandami Bhante. Welcome all to our weekly learning on Mahasatipatthana Sutta. Today is lecture number 65 and we are starting Dhammānupassanā section from today. That is contemplation of Dhamma objects as Dhamma. Our teacher Bhante Vimaravamsa is from Sri Lanka and belongs to Sri Kalyani Yogashrama Forest Monastery tradition. Bhante had spent 7 years practicing Samatha and Vipassana meditation under the guidance of Most Venerable Pauk Sayadaw Bhante in Myanmar. And Bhante has been teaching the real Vipassana practice and theory to all of us for more than a year now with all these sessions. With my folded hands, I request Bhante to please, having compassion on us, give us today's Dhamma Desana.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. May Triple Gem bless you all. Namo Buddhassa. This is Mahasatipatthana Sutta. Today also we will continue our Mahasatipatthana Sutta. We finish in this Mahasatipatthana Sutta. You know what is the Satipatthana? The foundation of the mindfulness. Foundation of this mindfulness into the 4 basic things. For example, to the ultimate materiality in your body, that is the Kāyanupassana. And then among the 4 types of immaterial aggregate, that is the feeling aggregate. If you take the Buddha to feeling aggregate here, and that is the Vedana-Anupassana. And then consciousness aggregate, that is the Chitta-Anupassana. We finish all things. And now we reach to the Dhammānupassanā. Dhammānupassana means contemplating the Dhamma object as Dhamma objects. So what are Dhamma objects? 5 things in the Dhammānupassana. What are the contents? Those are the contents. So the first one is 5 hindrances section or the chapter. That is what's called Dhammānupassanā nīvaraṇapabbaṃ. And then the second one is the 5 clinging aggregate. 5 clinging aggregate section. That is the Dhammānupassanā khanda pabbā. And then the third one, the section of 12 bases. So that is what is called in Pali, Dhammānupassanā āyatana pabbā. Āyatana pabbā. And the fourth one is the section of 7 enlightenment factors. So that is the Bhujjanga pabbā. So because it is in the Dhammānupassana, so therefore it is called Dhammānupassanā Bhujjanga pabbā. Finally, you have section of 4 noble truths. So then that is what is called Dhammānupassanā Satya pabbā. Satya means the 4 noble truths. So what are the Satya? You know, Dukkha Satya, that is the noble truth of suffering. And you have Samudaya Satya, the noble truth of cause of suffering. And the Nirodha Satya, noble truth of cessation of suffering. And Magga Satya finally, that is the noble truth of path leading to the cessation of suffering. So this is the Dhammānupassanā, contemplation of Dhamma object as Dhamma object. So that is the content. So we want to go for all these contents and how to practice Vipassana, how to practice your meditation up to the Arahantship. here, this is the thing Buddha mentioned. So today we will just start our 5 hindrances section. nīvaraṇapabbaṃ. So what are the nīvaraṇa? Nīvaraṇa mean 5 hindrances. Hindrances mean it covers your jhana attainment and magga phala attainment. So those are the nīvaraṇa, and this is the explanation of the nīvaraṇa. And this nīvaraṇa mean an obstacle, an impediments, or a delay. We can say that is illusion also. And so on 5 hindrances. Actually, like that, 5 hindrances. Though that is the what this 5 hindrances. That is the explanation. What is the nīvaraṇa like that? So these are the 5 hindrances. The first one is sensual desire. Oh, sensual desire or lust. That is what is called kāmacchanda in Pali. So the second one is ill will, that is vyapada in Pali. And sloth and torpor, that is the third one, that is the thina. And the fourth one is the agitation and remorse, or we can say restlessness and remorse. So that is what is called uddacha kukkucha. Uddacha kukkucha. And the last nīvaraṇa is the doubt or the skepticism, that is the vicikiccha in Pali. So again, what is the nīvaraṇa? Buddha said the nīvaraṇa is the nīvaraṇa. It covers your jhana attainment and it covers your magga phala attainment. So therefore, this is the chittasa avarana nīvaraṇa. Chittasa avarana nīvaraṇa paticchādanaṭṭena kāmachandādaya pancha thing. That means, sensual pleasure, so on 5 things. In the sense of concealment, obstacle, and shutting off the jhana mind and the magga phala minds are called hindrances. So that is the hindrances. So if you have hindrances, you can't attain jhana. Because Buddha said to the first jhana, how we finish this first jhana in the anapanasati meditation also, and then in the case of Visuddhi Magga, we went to the first jhana. So what is the explanation of the first jhana in the Buddha's teaching? Buddha said, Vivicceva kāmehi vivicca akusalehi dhammehi savitakkam savichāraṃ vivekajam pīti sukhaṃ patamajjhanaṃ upasampajja virati. So what is the vivicceva kāmehi? Vivicceva kāmehi means separating from the kāmacchanda itself, or the separating from the lustful mindsets itself, and vivicca akusalehi dhammehi. What is the meaning? That means separating from other 4 hindrances also. Vyapa, or the ill will, and thina, sloth and torpor, as well as restlessness and agitation, restlessness and the remorse, and then skepticism or the doubt. So, vivicca akusalehi dhammehi savitakkam savichāraṃ. With the vichara and with the vitakka. Savitakkam with the vitakka, with the vichara savichāraṃ. Vivekajam pīti sukhaṃ. So, this first jhana, that is born by the seclusion, Vivekajam pīti sukhaṃ. You have pīti, joy mental factor, as well as the sukha mental factor, sukha vedana mental factor. And here we want to take the ekaggata also. Vivekajam pīti sukhaṃ patamajjhanaṃ upasampajja virati. So then, the meditator, dwell, having entered upon to the first jhana. So this is the explanation of first jhana. So for the jhana attainment, if you do not remove temporary or suppress your five hindrances, you can produce jhana. So that's the meaning. In the case of Maggaphala attainment also, in the case of Maggaphala attainment, in the jhana attainment, now these five hindrances suppress temporary. But in the Magga attainment, Magga means when your path knowledge comes to you, then these five hindrances, step by step, that path knowledge will destroyed without remainder, totally, completely. So that's the meaning. So basically, so therefore, we need to abandon these five hindrances. So therefore, let's move to our Mahasatipatthana Sutta. So how the Buddha gave the accounts in the case of this Dhammānupassanā nīvaraṇapabbaṃ. So now you can see in the left side, that is the Desana Pali, or this is the Pali canon, Pali text, and then in the right side you have your Atthakatha or the commentary. Sometimes we need our Tika also. Okay, let's move number 382. Number 382, it says in this way, Katancha pana bhikkhave bhikkhu dhammesu dhammānupassī viharati. The Buddha asked in this way, again monk, again mean why again? Because now Buddha finished 3 sections. Kāyanupassana, or contemplation of the ultimate bodily materiality as body, and then contemplation of the feeling aggregate as feeling, and then contemplation of the consciousness as consciousness. Now these 3 finished. So therefore, again, katancha pana bhikkhave, again bhikkhu, again monk, again monks. Buddha said, how does a monk abide contemplating Dhamma object as Dhamma object? Ida bhikkave bhikkhu dhammesu dhammānupassī viharati panchasu nīvaraṇesu. And Buddha said, because this is you need to abandon these 5 hindrances first, and then you need to go to your meditation. While practicing meditation, you want to abandon these 5 hindrances. So therefore, Buddha started with 5 hindrances section. So Buddha said, in this asana, a monk abide contemplating Dhamma object as Dhamma object concerning 5 hindrances. Panchasu nīvaraṇesu. Katancha pana bhikkave bhikkhu dhammesu dhammānupassī viharati panchasu nīvaraṇesu. And then how the monk abide contemplating Dhamma object as Dhamma object concerning 5 hindrances. Okay, I will tell the total meaning. Buddha said again to the monk or the meditators. So again, monks, how does a monk abide contemplating Dhamma object as Dhamma object? Monk in this asana, a monk abide contemplating Dhamma object as Dhamma object concerning 5 hindrances. Again ask, then how does a monk abide or dwells in contemplating Dhamma object as Dhamma object concerning 5 hindrances? So this is the way. Ida bhikkave bhikkhu santang va ajjattang kāmacchandang attime ajjattang kāmacchandoti pajanati. Asantang va ajjattang kāmacchandang nati me ajjattang kāmachandoti pajanati. Yathacha anupannasa kāmachandasa upado hoti tancha pajanati. Yathacha uppannasa kāmachandasa pahanang hoti tancha pajanati. Yathacha pahinasa kāmachandasa ayating anupado hoti tancha pajanati. This is the way of the explanation by the Buddha. The sensual desire, or you can say craving, or you can say this is the lust, Or you can say this is the greed. Many names for the kāmacchanda. So what is the meaning? Here Buddha explained 5 ways. 5 ways. What are they? Either mean in this sasana, right? In this sasana, monk, here the bhikkhu in this sasana, monk, santang va ajjatang kāmachandang attimi ajjatang kāmachandoti pajanati. Whenever sensual desire is present within him, a bhikkhu understands that sensual desire is present within me, like that. So then again Buddha said, asantang va ajjatang kāmachandang attime ajjatang kāmachandoti pajanati. Ajjata means within the meditator. So then whenever sensual desire is absent from him, a bhikkhu understands that sensual desire is absent from me. And the third one is yathacha anuppannassa kāmachandassa upado hoti tancha pajanati. What is the meaning? And he understands that how there arises sensual desire that has not yet arisen within him. He understands that how there arises sensual desire that has not yet arisen in him, arisen within him. And then the fourth one, yathacha uppannassa kāmachandassa pahanam hoti tancha pajanati. And then the fourth one, and he understands that how, or in whatever way there comes to eradicate sensual pleasure or sensual desire that has already arisen in him. And then Buddha moved to the fifth one, yathacha pahinassa kāmachandassa ayating anuppado hoti tancha pajanati. But the fifth thing is, he understands that how that sensual desire that has now been eradicated will in future no longer arisen in him. So 5 things. I will tell again. What are the 5 things? Whenever sensual desire is present within him, that means within the meditator, a meditator understands that sensual desire is present within me. And then whenever sensual desire is absent from him, a meditator understands that sensual desire is absent from me. And then he understands that how there arises sensual desire that has not yet arisen within him. Fourth one. And then he understands in whatever way there comes to eradicate sensual desire that has already arisen in him. So the fifth one, he understands that in whatever way, or we can say how, because this yatha meaning, yathacha pahinassa kāmachandassa ayating anuppado hoti tancha pajanati. So then this yatha mean, you have many meaning for the yatha. Yatha mean in whatever way, and then again we have how, as, like, and in relation to, just as, and in according to, like many meaning, but we can say here how also can take, and then in whatever way also can take. So then the fifth one is, Buddha says, yathacha pahinassa kāmachandassa ayating anuppado hoti tancha pajanati. What is the meaning? He understands that, and the charming and he understands that in whatever way or how this sensual desire that has now been eradicated, yatacha pahinassa kāmachandasa means now been eradicated, and ayating anuppado hoti, ayati mean in future. So will in future anuppado will no longer arise in him. So he understands that also. So therefore, how many things? 5 things. So you can understand when sensual desire is present within the meditator, he should understand sensual desire is there in him. And if it is absent, then that should also be understood. And still, and the meditator should understand that there arises sensual desire, but still it is not a reason. And the 4th one, again, you try to understand these 5 things Buddha mentioned very, these are the main important points. So then again, now meditator must understand that how there comes to eradicate sensual desire that has already arisen. Already arisen kāmacchanda or the sensual desire, how you could eradicate. You need to know the method. That's the thing. And finally, meditator must understands that now already now the sensual desire has been eradicated, and how will it no longer arisen in him in near future, in future. So these are the 5 things. These are the 5 things Buddha explained to the kāmacchanda or the sensual desire, and to the all other 4 hindrances also. This is the way Buddha explained. That means according to these 5 only. So you must know these 5. So therefore you just keep in mind. Let's move to again to our Desana Pali, because we just finished all 5. All 5 we just finished. So the second one, right? Second one, what is that? Ida bhikkave bhikkhu, sorry, santang va ajjatang vyapadang attime ajjatang vyapadoti pajanati. The way you need to understand. And asantang va ajjatang vyapadang nattime ajjatang vyapadoti pajanati. Yathacha anupannassa vyapadassa uppado hoti tancha pajanati. Yathacha uppannassa vyapadassa pahanang hoti tancha pajanati. Yathacha pahinassa vyapadassa ayating anupado hoti tancha pajanati. So the same way Buddha gave the account. So then we will move in this way. Whatever, whenever vyapada means ill will, the second hindrance. So whenever ill will is present within him internally, that means ajjata means internally, then he understands that ill will is present within me. And whenever ill will is absent from me, then he understands that ill will is absent from me. And here, the third one, he understands that how the ill will has not yet arisen within him comes to arise. And the 4th one, he understands that how the ill will has now arisen in him is eradicated. And the last one, he understands that how the ill will now has been eradicated will in future no longer arise within him. So this is the ill will, how to practice ill will. We want to go to Attakatha how to practice, but still we want to understand what is the way Buddha explained this ill will. And then the third mental factor or the third hindrance, what is the sloth and torpor, thina middha. Okay, let's move to the thina middha. Santang va ajjatang thina middang attime ajjatang thina middanti pajanati. Asantang va ajjatang thina middang nattime ajjatang thina middanti pajanati. Yathacha anupannasa thina thīna middhassa uppado hoti tancha pajanati. Yathacha uppannassa thīna middhassa pahanam hoti tancha pajanati. Yathacha pahinassa thīna middhassa ayating anuppado hoti tancha pajanati. The same way of explanation. So I will explain. Whenever sloth and torpor are present within him, he understands that sloth and torpor are present within me. And whenever sloth and torpor is absent from me, then he understands that sloth and torpor are absent within me. And he understands that how the sloth and torpor that have not yet arisen within him comes to arise. And the fourth one, and he understands how the sloth and torpor have now arisen within him are eradicated, abandoned. And then the last one, he understands that the sloth and torpor have now been eradicated. In future will no longer arise within him. So that is the fifth one, and the same way as kāmacchanda, or the lust, or we can say the sensual desire, Buddha explained this one also. And then let's move to uddhacca kukkucca, the fourth nīvaraṇa, or the hindrance. Santang va ajjatang uddhacca kukkuccam attime ajjatang uddhacca kukkuccanti pajanati. Asantang va ajjatang uddhacca kukkuccam nattime ajjatang uddhacca kukkuccanti pajanati. Yathacha anuppannassa uddhacca kukkuccassa uppado hoti tancha pajanati. Yathacha uppannassa uddhacca kukkuccassa pahanam hoti tancha pajanati. Yathacha pahinassa uddhacca kukkuccassa ayating anuppado hoti tancha pajanati. What is the meaning? Whenever the agitation and remorse are present within him, he understands that agitation and remorse are present within me. And then whenever the agitation and remorse are absent from him, he understands that agitation and remorse are absent from me. And the third one, and he understands that how the agitation and the remorse have not yet arisen within him comes to arise. And the fourth one, and he understands that how the agitation and the remorse have now arisen within him that are eradicated. And the last one, and he understands how the agitation and remorse that have been eradicated now in future will no longer arise. That means in the Arahant path knowledge, only this no longer arise. So that means how to practice. We want to go to our Attakatha to understand how you want to practice. Okay, the last one, that is the vichikiccha, doubt or skepticism. How it says, Buddha has given this account. Santang va ajjatang vichikicchang attime ajjatang vichikicchati pajanati. Asantang va ajjatang vichikicchang nattime ajjatang vichikicchati pajanati. Yathacha anuppannaya vichikicchaya uppado hoti tancha pajanati. Yathacha uppannaya vichikicchaya pahanam hoti tancha pajanati. The fourth one. And the last one, Yathacha pahinaya vichikicchaya ayating anuppado hoti tancha pajanati. So what is the meaning? The same way you need to understand. So then Buddha continue to the last hindrances in this way. Whenever the doubt is present within him, he understands that doubt is present within me. And whenever doubt is absent within him, he understands that doubt is absent from me. And he understands that how the doubt that has not yet arisen comes to arise. And he understands that how doubt that has Now arisen within him is eradicated. And the last one, and he understands how this doubt that now has been eradicated, will in future no longer arise within him, right? In this way, that is the Desana Pali, and Buddha moved to then finally to give this is the way, this is the way mean this is how to practice, and then Buddha gave the other vipassana, how to practice vipassana on that. Iti ajhatang va dhammesu dhammānupassi vihirati, bahiddha va dhammesu dhammānupassi vihirati, ajhat bahiddha va dhammesu dhammānupassi vihirati. And actually, yeah, this is the way. But we want to move to understand those things after discussing those 5 kinds of hindrances. So now let's move to our Atthakatha. Atthakatha says the second line, the second or the right side, you have Atthakatha, 382. You can see the number. Evam solasa vidhena chittanupassana satipatthana kathetva idani panchavidena dhammanupassana kathetum kathancha bhikkhave adimaha. What is the meaning? The Buddha has expounded the contemplation of the consciousness as consciousness in 16 ways. Solasa vidhena means in 16 ways we just finished those things. Now, in order to preach fivefold Dhammānupassanā, he started with, and how does a monk like passage? Apicha Bhagavata Kāyanupassanaaya Suddha Rupa Pariggaho Kathito. Moreover, with regards to the Kāyanupassana, a discernment of pure materiality has been preached by the Buddha. Pure materiality. However, what has happened to the Vedana-anupassana? Vedana Chitta-anupassana hi Suddha Arupa Pariggaho. However, with regards to the Vedana-anupassana and the Chitta-anupassana, or the contemplation of the feeling aggregate as feeling, contemplation of the mind as mind, where pure mentality meditation has been taught by the Buddha. And idani now, Rupa Rupa Missaka Pariggahang Kathetum Kathancha Bhikkhaveti Adimaha. And now, in order to expound both mentality and materiality, Rupa mean the Rupa plus Arupa become Rupa. That means materiality, Rupa mean the materiality, Arupa mean the mentality. So then now, in order to expound both the mentality and the materiality meditation, so then Buddha started the Dhammadesana or the canon in this way. How does a monk and the like passage was said? So that's that is the understanding should be. And here Rupa Missaka, that means it's mixed with the mentality meditation as well as materiality meditation. We can understand that. For example, what are the contents of Dhammānupassanā? The first one is nīvaraṇapabbaṃ. So nīvarana means mentality. And then Khandapabba means you can see your 5 clinging aggregates. So Rupa aggregate as well as 4 Arupa aggregates. So then in that case, you can see it is mixed. Mixed mean mentality and materiality. And then 12 bases, 12 bases mean your Ido, Edo, like doors as well as the object. So relevant objects are the materiality as well as mentality also in the case of bases. And in the 7 enlightenment factors, that is the mentality. 7 enlightenment factor mean sati, or your mindfulness, dhamma vecaya, the investigation, mental enlightenment factor, and then virya or the effort enlightenment factor, and then joy, tranquility, concentration, and the equanimity. So those are related to the mentality meditation. And in the case of four noble truths, in the case of dukkha satya, what is the dukkha satya? Your 5 clinging aggregate. So that means mentality and materiality mix. And then when you come to the samudaya satya, your causes of these 5 aggregate, avidya, tanha, upadana, sankhara, kamma sati. So there also you have basically mentality, but without mentality you can practice your samudaya satya or the second noble truth of the cause of suffering. That is also mentality and materiality. In the case of third satya, some noble truth, that is the noble truth of cessation of suffering. So that is the nibbana, right? So nibbana is no mentality, no materiality. And in the case of the path leading to the cessation of suffering, magga satya, in the case of magga satya, you can see magga satya mean 8 factors. 8 factors mean your sammaditthi, that is the panya chetasika, or the wisdom mental factor. And then samma sankappa, that is the vitakka chetasika. And then samma vacha chetasika, and samma vacha mean that is the samma vacha, samma kammanta, and the samma ajiva are the 3 kinds of mental factors. And then again you have samma vayama, right effort. So then effort also mental factor. And then samma sati, right mindfulness, that is also mental factor. And the final one is the samma samadhi. So that is also samadhi, mean the ekaggata mental factor. So how many mental factor there are? 8. So basically in the magga satya you can see mentality as well as, but in the case of magga satya mean when you attain nibbana, these all mentality 8 kind of mental factor comes to the your meditation mind, and it becomes magga jnana or path knowledge. So that means they are mentality mainly, but materiality also there. So therefore, this Dhammānupassanā is mixed with mentality and materiality. That's this meaning. Okay, then we just move to another this paragraph. Kāyanupassanaaya va Kāyanupassanaaya va rūpakandasa parigahova katito Vedananupassanaaya vedanakanda parigahova Chittanupassanaaya viññānakanda parigahova idani sanya sankhara kanda parigahampi katetum katancha bhikkaveti adimaha. Now alternatively another explanation also has been given here. Va mean alternately in this way. Kāyanupassanaaya rūpakanda parigahova katito. In the case of discernment of materiality aggregate has been expounded by the Kāyanupassana, discernment of materiality aggregate. And then Vedananupassanaaya Vedana Kanda Parigahova. So discernment of feeling aggregate by the Vedananupassana. And then Chittanupassanaaya Viññāna Kanda Parigahova. Then in the discernment of the consciousness aggregate by Chittanupassana. Idani, but now you can understand here 3 aggregate. And now you have another 2 kinds of aggregate. So that is what is called sanya, perception aggregate, and the sankhara, formation aggregate. So to understand and how to practice this therefore, idani, however, idani sanya sankara kanda parigdahampi katetum katancha bhikkhuveti adimaha. So then, however, now in order to preach the discernment of formation aggregate and the other perception aggregate, Buddha started with how does a monk and the like passage. So that's the meaning. You need to understand this is in this way. And again, let's move to another paragraph, right? Tatha santanti abhinna samudachara vasena samvijjamanam. Tatha mean in related to this 5 hindrances section. Santanti, what is the meaning of santam? Santang va ajjatang kāmachandang attime ajjatang kāmachandoti pajanati. Like that. So therefore, actually, before I want to say that, actually it carefully indicated that discernment of only one aggregate, right? Discernment of only one aggregate, like feelings on, you can't attain Nibbana. That's the meaning. You need to find out every 5 aggregate. And so therefore you must discern 5 aggregate. Now, tattha santanti abhinna samudachara vasena sangvijjamanam. Sangvijjamanam means existing, right? Existing. So then santa means the present. So present means santanti abhinna samudachara vasena sangvijjamanam. Abhinna means frequently. So then santa means present means existing frequently in the mind. Abhinna samudachara vasena. Right? That is the existing frequently in the mind. That is what is called santa or the present. Asanta then. Asantanti. Asantanti means not absent, not present. So santanti asamudachara vasena va pahinatta va asangvijjamana. What is the meaning of asanta? Asanta, the one meaning is it's the not existing, owing to non-occurrence, or other one is pahinatta. Pahinatta means abandonment. Because of it abandoned. Abandoned by the Magga Jnana, or temporary by way of your while practicing Vipassana, you can understand now. When you practice Vipassana, what's the way your early abandonment of the 5 hindrances occur by way of the tadangapahana, part by part this abandonment. So tadangapahana or full complete pahana or complete abandonment by the path knowledge. Or when you attain to the jhana, how they are temporary, suppress these 5 hindrances. So therefore, such kind of pahina or the abandonment. Or asamudachara vasena means not non-occurrence, right? Non-occurrence or abandonment. So that is the asanta, not existing. Yatha chati, then they explain what is yatha, because you can understand this yatha, 3 things, three in the last 3 explanation, Buddha explained this yatha. So you can see in the case of Desana Pali again, yathacha anupannaya. Let's move to the last one. Vichikichaya upado hoti tancha pajanati. So then this yatha is, you can see three places. Yathacha anupannaya vichikichaya, and then yathacha uppannaya vichikichaya, then second one, and then yathacha pahinaya vichikichaya. So 3 places Buddha mentioned this yatha. So they are explaining this way. Yatha, what is the way of explanation? Yeah. So yatha, three places Buddha mentioned. So then what is this yatha? Actually, this yatha has many meaning, right? Yatha has many meaning. So I told that yatha has one meaning as. the other meaning like, the other meaning how. But this how is not in the beginning of the sentence. It is in the middle of sentence, right? That means something explained. In relation to also yatha, and then just as, according to, in whatever way. So many meaning for the yatha. So therefore, they also gonna explain yatha here, right? Okay, let's move to again Atthakatha. Yathacha. What is this yathacha mean? Yena karanena kāmachandasa upado hoti. Yena karanena kāmachandasa upado hoti. That is the yatha. That means the meaning is in relation to what or how the sensual desire comes to arise. That is the yatha, right? The meaning of yatha is that. That's why I explain how or in whatever way. For example, in this way, yathacha pahinaya vichikichaya ayatin anupado hoti tancha pajanati. What is the way, the explanation? And he understands that how the doubt that now has been eradicated and will in future no longer arise within him. So then that means how we can use how form or in whatever way form. That means they are explained yathacha mean in relation to what or how the sensual desire comes to arise. So that is the meaning. And then again they explain tancha pajanati, that because tancha pajanati, what is the he understands that, right? What is the meaning of that? Tancha karanam pajanati. Tancha karanam pajanati means he knows that arising, right? He knows that arising. Tancha pajanati means sometimes he knows this arising of kāmacchanda or the lust, or he understands that not a reason kāmacchanda, a reason arise now, or he understands that this kāmacchanda eradication, or he understands that kāmacchanda, eradicated kāmacchanda, in future no longer arise with him. So then tancha pajanati means tancha karanam pajanati, arising, eradication, and the other thing, the eradicated lustful situation is not will no longer arise in the future. So all three things here. So therefore, that tancha karanam pajanati means he knows the arising and eradicating and no longer arise in the future like thing. And iti imina naena sabba padesu atho veditabbo. In this way, by this method, you should know every phrase and the word, the meaning of every phrases and the word. So that's the meaning. Okay. Now they're gonna explain how your kāmacchanda arise. How the kāmacchanda arise in you. Okay. Tattha mean in this kāmacchanda nīvaraṇa or the hindrance. Subha nimitte ayoniso manasikarena kāmachandasa uppado hoti. How does the kāmacchanda arise now? Tattha subha nimitte. Subha nimitte mean, what is the subha nimitta mean? Attractive object. Attractive object, what is called subha nimitta. Because this subha nimitta is very dangerous. If you see this attractive object, you will end up with the lustful mindset. So therefore, Buddha highlight here, what is this, how does the kāmacchanda arise? Through the unwise attention. Tattha subha nimitte ayoniso manasikarena kāmachandasa uppado hoti. That's very important. Through the unwise attention, in the case of attractive object, there arises kāmacchanda, or the lust, or the sensual desire, or we can say sensual pleasure, or this is the greed. Okay, and they're gonna explain what is the subha nimitta. Subha nimittang nama subhampi subha nimittang subha rammanampi subha nimittang. Now you know how the kāmacchanda, how does kāmacchanda arise? How does it arise? Through the unwise attention to the attractive object. So then you need to understand what is this attractive object. Subha nimitta. Subha nimitta nama subhampi subha nimittang subha ramanampi subha nimittang. They say attractive object refers either to the sensual desire itself, or the sensual object which is pleasant, or which is pleasurable, which is agreeable, right? So desirable. So in such kind of object, and the sensual desire itself, as well as object of the or we can say desirable object, pleasant object, agreeable object. So keep it in mind. And they are gonna explain what is ayoniso manasikara. So you need to understand how this kāmacchanda arises because of the unwise attention, ayoniso manasikara. To what? To the subha nimitta, attractive object. And then, so you need to understand what is this ayoniso manasikara. If you know the ayoniso manasikara, you can dispel it. Okay. Now, ayoniso manasikaro nama anupaya manasikaro, uppata manasikaro, anicce niccantiva, dukke sukhantiva, anattani attava, asubhe subhantiva manasikaro. What is the manasikaro? Ayoniso manasikara. Actually, unwise attention. Ayoniso manasikaro nama anupaya manasikaro. Uppatha manasikaro. Anupaya mean, upaya mean expedient. You have you have some strategy or expedient. That is the upaya. Now here, anupaya. Manasikaro mean, attention. So then unwise attention is inexpedient. Inexpedient reflection. And the other one is uppatha manasikaro. You know now, patha mean that is the track, or the way, or the path, like that. So then uppatha mean out of the track. So then we can say that mean unwise reflection is the inexpedient reflection. That means reflection on the wrong track. We can say reflection on the wrong track, out of the track. Again, explain how there are another explanation also. Va mean anicce nicchanti va mean this is the explanation, and then moreover again explain anicce nicchanti va manasikaro. What is the meaning? Or reflection that considers the impermanent phenomena, right? Anicce mean impermanent phenomena. That means, what is that? 5 aggregate. Your 5 aggregate are permanent, no, not permanent phenomena. That is impermanent phenomena. But anicce, niccam. But you have impermanent phenomena, but your mind says this as permanent. So that is the one type of reflection out of the track, or inexpedient reflection. And again say, dukke sukhantiva manasikaro. You need to manasikaro is at the end of the sentence, right? Dukke sukhantiva manasikaro. So what is that? Suffering phenomena as pleasure. Your mind says your five aggregate are suffering, but you just take it as pleasure. That is the meaning. And then O va anattani attava, non-self phenomena. These phenomena or the five aggregate, you don't find out any kind of self or the soul, but your mind says non-self phenomena as self. And asubhe subhantiva manasikaro. Asubhe mean, that this actually this the phenomena, five aggregate phenomena are we can say asubha, the dirty, or impure, or ugly. Asubhe subhantiva. But you understand that it has beauty or pure, like that. So then what is the ayoniso manasikara? I will tell again. Unnoised attention is inexpedient reflection. That means reflection out of the track. Or reflection that considers the impermanent phenomena as permanent, suffering phenomena as pleasure, and non-self phenomena as self, and impure phenomena as pure, or the ugly phenomena as beauty, like that. So now sensual desire arises when unwise attention repeatedly occurs on the sensually attractive object. So that is the meaning here. So you now just want to understand that how this sensual desire arises in me because of ayoniso manasikara, or the unwise attention. So unwise attention to what? To the subha nimitta, attractive object. So what is this ayoniso manasikara? This is the ayoniso manasikara. Okay, then again, tang mean this tang tatta bahulang pavattayato kāmacchando uppajjati. This ayoniso manasikara, right? This ayoniso manasikara, in the case of this attractive object, in the attractive object, bahulang pavattayato kāmacchando uppajjati. Abundantly, if it is abundantly arise in your mind again and again, that means there arises kāmacchanda. Tenaha bhagava. So therefore, Buddha said in the Ahara Sutta, actually, this is the Ahara Sutta. Ahara Sutta means the condition, or we can say fuels, condition, causes. Ahara means, that is the meaning. Or some nutriment to arise kāmacchanda, to arise the other five hindrances. So that is the ahara mean. So Buddha said in Ahara Sutta in this way, Athe bhikkhave subha nimittam tatta ayoniso manasikara bahulikaro ayamaharo anuppannasava kāmachandasa uppadaya uppannasava kāmachandasa bhiyu bhavaya vepullayati. Buddha explained in the case of Ahara Sutta in this way. Ahara Sutta, that is in Sayyutta Nikaya. Monk, there is an attractive object where if the unwise attention is kind of abundant in your mind, then this is the condition for the unarisen sensual pleasure to arise, or already arisen sensual desire to expand and augment. So that's the meaning. If you have attractive object, then if they are if you maintain your unwise attention, then unwise attention is kind of abandoned in your mind, then there arise, that is the fuel, or we can say that is the condition for the unarisen kāmacchanda, or the sensual pleasure to arise, or already arisen kāmacchanda or the sensual desire to expand and Bhiyu Bhavaya, expand and Vepullaya. Vepullaya means to augment. So that's the meaning. Again, then they're gonna explain how do you abandon it? How do you abandon this kāmacchanda? How do you abandon? And how you wanna practice? And they explain in this way. Asubha nimitte pana yoniso manasikarenasa pahanam hoti. Now, if you have subha nimitta, that is, if you take the object as subha nimitta, attractive object, then you end up with the ayoniso manasikara. Now they gonna explain here in this way. So how you want to abandon this? So you need asubha nimitta, or the unattractive object or ugly object, right? So asubha nimitte pana yoniso manasikarena pahanam hoti. Yoniso manasikarena assa, right? Assa mean to him. Pahanam hoti mean it does abandon. So asubha nimitte mean, asubha nimitte, that means abandonment comes through the wise attention, right? It comes through the wise attention on the repulsive object. Or we can say loathsome object, ugly object, unattractive object. You need to understand this thing. So they explain again what is asubha nimitta. Asubha nimittam nama asubhampi asubharammanampi. So what is the asubha nimitta? Asubha nimitta means repulsiveness or loathsome itself, and also repulsive object. Repulsive object and repulsiveness, or the loathsomeness. So that is the asubha nimitta. And again explain what is yoniso manasikara. Then you need to understand what is the yoniso manasikara. The way we explain ayoniso manasikara, this is the another way round explanation. That is the yoniso manasikara, wise attention. So that one is unwise attention. This is the wise attention. So then, what is the meaning? This is the definition. Yoniso manasikaro nama upaya manasikaro. So in the case of ayoniso manasikara, anupaya manasikaro. And then uppata manasikaro is the ayoniso manasikaro. This is patha manasikaro. So you need to understand. So therefore, yoniso manasikaro nama upaya manasikaro patha manasikaro. Anicche aniccantiva, dukkhe dukkhantiva, anattani anattaniva, asubhe asubhantiva manasikaro. What is the meaning? What is the yoniso manasikara? Wise attention is the expedient reflection. That means reflection on the right track, not the out of the track. Is here right track, reflection on the right track. O va anicche aniccantiva. O reflection that considers the impermanent phenomena as impermanent, suffering phenomena as suffering, non-self phenomena as non-self, impure phenomena as impure. Here, actually, this phenomena means, what is the phenomena? Your five aggregate. And their causes also. Then, it says, it says tang mean this yoniso manasikara tattha bahulang pavatteyato. Tattha mean your object, asubha object. Bahulang pavatteyato kāmacchanda pahiyati. Kāmacchanda pahiyati. If you maintain your yoniso manasikara, or the wise attention on the object, on the unattractive object, or the ugly object, or repulsive object, or the loathsome object, then your kāmacchanda, or the sensual desire, abandon. Therefore, tena aha bhagava. Therefore, Buddha said in Ahara Sutta in this way. Atti bhikkhave asubha nimittam tatta yoniso manasikara bahulikaro ayamaharo anuppannasava kāmachandasa anuppadaya uppannasava kāmachandasa pahanayati. So therefore, Buddha explained in this way. Atti bhikkave asubha nimittam. Bhikkave monk, there is the unattractive object. There is an unattractive object tattha where yoniso manasikara bahulikaro, abandoned kinds of abandoned wise attention on that. Ayamaharo anuppannasva kāmachandasa uppadaya. This is the fuel, so this is the condition to arise. Sorry, anuppadayava kāmachandasa anuppadaya. Non-arisen of already non-arisen kāmacchanda, or the sensual desire, or va uppannasa kāmachandasa pahanaya, for the abandonment of already arisen lustful situation. So this is the fuel, or we can say this is the condition, or nutriment, yoniso manasikara. Right? This yoniso manasikara, so therefore very, very important, yoniso manasikara. Okay, the Buddha means the Sabbanyuta, or the omniscient one. Sabbanyuta, that means omniscient one, possessing 10 extraordinary power. So Dasa Baladhari explain 5 hindrances which cause to prevent jhana, magga and phala attainment as follows. So there another explanation. This is Anguttara Nikaya. So Panchame bhikkave avarana nīvaraṇa chetaso ajjoruha panyaya dubbalikarana katame pancha kāmacchando bhikkave avarano nīvarano chetaso ajjoruho panyaya dubbalikarana. Like that, panyaya dubbalikarana means your magga, phala and vipassana panya. So this kāmacchanda prevents the panya. Okay, let's move to the another slide. Okay. And then this is the Ahara Sutta. Buddha says, the Buddha teaches the to the meditator what are the nourishment and non-nourishment for each hindrance. Nourishment here causes, or the condition, or fuels, right, for each condition. So then Bhagavad lived in Savatthi city. Then Buddha said in Ahara Sutta, actually we can't go to Ahara Sutta. Now let's move to the final, the last paragraph. Buddha mentioned here, monk, there is an attractive object, subha nimitta, high rate of unnoised attention, ayoniso manasikara, towards the attractive object. That is the nourishment, or we can say that is the condition for the unarisen sensual pleasure to arise, as well as a recent sensual pleasure to augment and expand. So you keep in mind this ayoniso manasikara is the condition, right? Unattractive object. Okay, let's move to another one. Okay, you need to understand what is ayoniso manasikara. I explained. Then again, you see this explanation or the definition of ayoniso manasikara. So then you can understand very clearly. So then this is the Pali, and then let's move to understand in what is the English. So unnoised attention is inexpedient reflection, or reflection on the wrong track. Or beside, moreover, the attention in the case of impermanent phenomena as permanent, suffering phenomena as pleasure, and non-soul phenomena as soul, and impure phenomena as pure. This is the unwise attention. Now, keep it in mind, this is very important for you. And let's move to another slide. Maybe we need what is the okay. And then, so what is the non-nourishment or the condition for unarisen sensual pleasure to arise, or already arisen sensual pleasure to augment and expand? So Ahara Sutta, Buddha explained there in this way. Monk, so that is the unattractive object. There is an unattractive object wherein a high rate of unwise attention is the non-nourishment or condition for the unarisen sensual pleasure to arise, or already arisen sensual pleasure to augment and expand. So you keep it in mind, this is about the asubha nimitta, right? Asubha nimitta. And then let's move to another. Okay, and then what is the wise attention, right? Wise attention, yoniso manasikara. What is the wise attention? So wise attention, so then we move to our Attakatha, the Pali explanation. So then let's move how to understand you wise attention. So wise attention is expedient reflection. That means reflection going to the right track. Oh, besides, it is the reflection that considers the facts of impermanence phenomena as impermanence in the real way, suffering phenomena as suffering, non-solved phenomena as non-solved, impure phenomena as impure, uh, whatever as authentic. That means as really they are. Okay, this is the explanation. So, what is the yoniso manasikara, ayoniso manasikara? You need to understand. And then, but I need to explain how to practice. How to practice. Actually, then you need to practice. That is the thing. How to practice? Here you want to understand that when the blessed one says, whenever sensual desire is present within him, he understands that sensual desire is present within me. And actually, what is that? This is the Fido mental process or Mindo mental process. So this understanding must be Mindo mental process or Fido mental process. Overcome by unwise attention. That is the meaning. But unwise attention on the attractive object. Right? So then you need to know what is the attractive object. And then your mind, what is the mind? Your lustful mind. How many lustful mindsets? 8 kind of lustful mindset you have. Somanasa Sahagata, Dittigata, Sampayutta, Asankaraka. Like I explained those things many different time, going back to your Chitta chart, and then 8 kind of, you have now 8 kind of greed mindsets. Those are the rooted greed mindsets. So you need so therefore now when the attractive object comes into into your range of vision, then what happened? You have object, and what is the base? Base is the ido is the base. You need to understand ido, right? You need to see the ido in the meditation. You know now in the ido you have 7 kind of different rupa kalapa. What are they? For example, Chakku Dasaka Kalapa, eye Dakat Kalapa, and then you have Kaya Dasa Kalapa, body Dakat Kalapa, and Bhava Dasa Kalapa, Jivita Navaga Kalapa, as well as Utujarupa, Chittajarupa, and Aharajarupa. Aharaja Ojatamaka also. Aharaja Ojatamaka Rupa, Chittaja Ojatamaka Rupa, and they actually, if you follow my last lecture, then you can understand those things. And the temperature born materiality or the Uttuja Ojatamaka Kalapa. So all together 8 kind of Rupa Kalapa are there. How many Rupa, Paramartha Rupa inside? So therefore, if you count up those things, you have 63 Rupa. That is the base. That is the base of your Ido, right? Ido, that is the base. So Ido, where your sensitivity, eye sensitivity is in the Chakku Dasaka Kalapa. You know now, then you want to discern those things first, right? You need to discern this materiality meditation. And then what is the mentality here? Mentality is the lustful mindset. For example, Somanasa Sahagata, Somanasa Sahagata, Dittigata Sampayukta Asankarika. That means you have Michha Ditti, or the wrong view, associated wrong view, and you have accompanied by pleasure in your mind, right? Accompanied by pleasure in your mind. So then you have attractive object, and object, then the mindset, mind and the mental factor. So mind and the mental factor are in the base. Here you need to understand your Ido as well as Mindo, because this, if you have Fido mental process, Ido, both Ido and the Mindo working simultaneously. And when you are, for example, if you do not have now object, now attractive object, then sometimes the past attractive object also you can reflect. You might automatically reflect them. So then they arise again, because seeing the reflecting the past attractive object also, there arise lustful mindset in you, or sensual desire, kāmacchanda, they arise in your mind. So then how you want to practice here? Actually, this because of this unwise attention, there arise kāmacchanda. It is in the javana mind movement, in the chittaviti, or the mental process, javana mind movement. Therefore you need to analyze your javana mind movement. So javana mind movement means, actually, javana mind movement, if you see the kāmacchanda mind mental factor, then you can practice vipassana on that. Anicca like, dukkha like, anatta like. In this way, you can practice real vipassana by seeing the kāmacchanda in the javana mind movement. Actually, here, I told you must discern the greed-rooted 8 kind of consciousness, and kāmacchanda, or the craving, or the greed mental factor, is in the javana mind movement. This is very important, right? Javana mind movement on the mental process, actually. With the sense object and the base. So if you know the sense object, base, and your mind, then this is the real vipassana, right? So for all 6 sense, those you must do the same practice, right? This is the Buddha's teaching. And if you go in the wrong way, practicing this kāmacchanda, so on, 5 hindrances, then you can't, right? As an example, I will say, if you want to discern Ido mental process, you should first discern the Ido, right? Ido, and then see a visible object that you like, visible object. That means how you are now closing the eye while practicing the meditation, you are closing the eye. Then how you can take the visible object? So when you focus your Ido, you can see 7 different kind of many rupa kalapa with many different color. So you focus whatever color you attract to. So then you focus those color, and then those color will impinge your eye sensitivity in the chakku dasaka kalapa, or the eye decad kalapa. So that object simultaneously take by the Ido as well as Mindo. So you can see those things while practicing. And so how then the Ido mental process arises. Ido mental process, right? If you take it as color, then Fido mental process arises. If you think that, oh, this Ido, what called chakku dasaka kalapa, or the eye sensitivity is very beautiful, right? Very beautiful color. It has very beautiful color. Then there arise greed rooted mind. right? Greed-rooted mind. Then you need to discern those mental process. And here, now the idol, heart base, and the color object are the materiality aggregate. Idol, heart base, and the color object are the materiality aggregate. And now there arise greedy mind. Mind doesn't arise alone. Mind always arise with the conscious mental factors. So here, how many mental factors? With the 19 mental factors, there arise mind, including craving mental factor. So then, in this mentality, your feeling aggregate is the feeling, or you have seven universal mental factors. So in this 7 universal mental factor, you have feeling mental factor. So feeling mental factor is the feeling aggregate. And then you have sanya mental factor, or the perception mental factor, that is the perception aggregate. Other all mental factor are the the formation aggregate. And your mind, each mind movement, you have mind. That mind is the consciousness aggregate. So how many aggregates? There are 5 aggregates. So if you see those 5 aggregate, and then here you need to practice according to the kāmacchanda. So then focus your kāmacchanda, or the greed mental factor, or we can say craving mental factor, and then practice vipassana. So this is the real way to practice vipassana. So actually now, so this account shapes the way of Buddha's usual teaching. So now here, and when you are eligible to practice vipassana, if you want to practice according to the 5 hindrances, then usually, your idol is closed, and not taking any object from the idol. Idol to arise greed. Now that means no idol mental process is going on while you are closing the eye. However, if your mind reflects some previous attractive object, right? Previous attractive object by unwise attention, then it produces craving or the lust, right? Then what kind of mindset's going on? That is the mind-mental process. Because before we discuss about the fido-mental process, there arise mind-mental process because of unwise attention. So then you advert this mind-mental process. In the case of previously also, you want to advert, right? Advert the mental process. Each mind movement by my movement, you need to advert, and then you discern the javana. When you come into the javana mind movement, find out your lobha or greed mental factor, and then contemplate that as anicca for a long time, dukkha for a long time, anatta for a long time. This is the true practice according to the Buddha. So this is the way to practice this meditation. And now again we want to move to our Atthakatha. Atthakatha says, apicha cha dhamma kāmachandasa pahanaya samvattati. It says again, apicha further, there are 6 things leading to abandon the sensual pleasure. So what are they? Asubha nimittas uggaho. Asubha nimittas uggaho means, uggaho means taking up. So taking up the loathsomeness. Asubha nimitta means, then repulsive object or the loathsome object, or the unattractive object. So taking up the loathsomeness object, meditation. Until getting the Uggaha Nimitta, right? Uggaha Nimitta, because this Asubha meditation has Uggaha Nimitta. We discussed this thing in the case of Visuddhi Magga. So till the taking up the loathsomeness meditation, until getting the Uggaha Nimitta, Asubha Nimitta, so Uggaha is the meaning, that is the meaning. And then Asubha Bhavananu Yogo, and the second one is, that means exerting oneself to development of access concentration or the jhana concentration with lots of meditation subject, that is what's called asubha bhavana yoga. So if you have the high rate of kāmacchanda, how you want to reduce? You take the asubha object and practice meditation, right? Practice meditation to the uggha nimitta or the learning sign, and towards the patibhaga nimitta, and achieve your access concentration or the jhana, first jhana concentration. That is the meaning here. And indriyasu gutta dwarata, that means guarding the sense doors. Indriyasu gutta dwarata. And moderation in food, the other thing. Bhudine mattanyuta, moderation in food. Kalyana mittata, you know, kalyana mittata means sympathetic and helpful companionship of the good. And then Sappaya Katha. What is the Sappaya Katha mean? Stimulation talk. Stimulation talk that helps actually accomplishment of the asubha in view of the meditator in the case. So then that mean frequently if you have some companion talk with the talking of asubha, regarding asubha meditation, right? Then they are not arisen kāmacchanda. Dasavidang hi asubha nimittang ugganhantassapi kāmacchando pahiyati. Then they are little explanation. So what it means? That means taking up and practicing of 10 kinds of lots of meditation subject leads to abandon the sensual pleasure, right? Abandon the sensual pleasure. And bhaventassapi means practicing. Ugganhantassapi means that taking up, right? Taking up and practicing. Taking up the object and practicing the object up to the first jhana, right? Up to the first jhana, taking dasavidang asubha nimittang, 10 kinds of asubha nimitta. And those 10 kind of we have in the slide, I will tell you. And again say, Indriyesu pihita dwarasapi chatunnang pancannang alopanang okase sati udakam pivitva yapana silaya bhojana matanyunopi. It says kāmacchando pahiyati. We need to take that kāmacchando pahiyati is in the beginning. So then kāmacchando pahiyati. That means closing the 5 sense doors and moderating in food. So then your five out of the 5 hindrances, your sensual pleasure abandons. So then again it says in this way, Chatunnang pancannang alopanang means the morsels, right? Morsels. Okase sati udakam pivitva yapana silaya bhojane mattan, we just discussed about the moderation of food. So how it takes the meditator who can drink water when 4 to 5 morsels are still remaining, right? This is still remaining. So then if you can drink the water instead, then you don't have any greedy mindsets towards your food. So that is the meaning here, right? So therefore, teneva bhuttam. Because of that reason, it said in Tera Gahata by our Sariputta Maharahant, right? Chattaro pancha alope pivitva udakam pive alang pasu viharaya pahitatasa bhikkhunoti. What is the meaning? What the meaning is, the here meaning, when the meditator could eat another 4 or 5 morsels, he should drink water instead, right? This is actually sufficient to feel comfortable for an energetically striving bhikkhu, right? Pahitatassa bhikkhuno, to the energetically striving bhikkhu. So actually, what is this here? Energetically striving bhikkhu mean pahitatassa mean pahitatassa, right? Pahitatassa mean energetically striving bhikkhu or the meditator. So that means mind is always sent to attain nibbana. That means practicing samatha and vipassana meditation. Right? And then again it says another explanation we have. So then let's move to that. There, asubha bhavana, asubha kammika tissathere sadise asubha bhavana rate kalyana mitte sevantassapi kāmacchanda pahiyati. So sometimes I told this Tissa Mahatera, he practiced repulsiveness meditation with regards to the 32 parts of the body, and usually he attained to the first jhana of the skeleton meditation, and he practiced vipassana up to the Sankaropeka meditation and attained to the arahantship while going on the rod to the Armstrong. You know, one lady is coming in front of him with smiling, but he didn't see any smiling or lady or somebody, but he sees instead the skeleton only, and he practiced vipassana at that time on the side on the road. So he attained arahantship at that time. So then such kind of so then here it says kāmacchanda is abandoned for the meditator who is associated with the sympathetic and helpful companionship of the good, like Venerable Tissa, sorry, who always bent to Asubha meditation subject and attain arahantship through the lotsome meditation subject. They say in this way. Tahana nisajjadisu dasa asubha nisita sappaya kataya pahiyati. Again it says, that means motivation talks, right? Sappaya kata means motivation talks about 10 lotsome meditations in every posture. In every posture, if you can talk with lotsome meditation subject, then you are kāmacchanda, because you are in always with the asubha meditation. So in that way also kāmacchanda pahiyati. Tena buddhaṃ. Then again it says, therefore it says by the Buddha, cha dhamma kāmacchanda pahanaya samvattati. There are 6 things to abandon, for the abandonment of the kāmacchanda or the sensual desire. And imehi pana chahi dhammehi pahina kāmacchanda arahat maggena ayating anupado hoti iti pajanati. Now actually, so the meditator understands that removal of sensual desire through these 6 things temporary only, right? But will in future no longer arise by means of arahant path knowledge. Arahant path knowledge, this kāmacchanda totally removed. So this is the way of removing. That means how you need to understand you have kāmacchanda, and then when you are absent the kāmacchanda, then also you need to understand, and then how to practice I explain. So then if you can we can move what are the 10 kinds of inanimate asubha object or something like that. Then according to the commentary, moreover a commentary, actually this is in the Ahara Sutta commentary, right? Here it's taken to the our Mahasatipatthana Sutta also. It has mentioned that there another six things. Another 6 thing mean apart from the unattractive object. Apart from the unattractive object, you have another 6 things to casting out of the sensual desire. So what are they? So you just keep in mind. That's very good. The taking off of repulsiveness meditation subject until getting the Uggha Nimitta, right? Uggha Nimitta means learning sign. So and then engagement for the development of access concentration or the jhana concentration based on that repulsive object. Repulsive object means here loathsome object or the unattractive, unattractive object, right? And the other one is guarding the sense doors and the moderation in food, being associated with the Kalyana Mitra. That means the sympathetic and the helpful companionship of the good, like Venerable Tissa Arahant, we discuss here. And the other, finally, motivation talks that helps to accomplish the Asubha object in view in every posture. So here Atthakatha says, what Atthakatha? Tahana nisajjasisu. That means Tahana means sitting posture, and walking posture, lying down posture, and standing posture, right? Every posture you need to think of Asubha object. And then what are the 10 kinds of Asubha meditations? Uddhumataka, the swollen corpse or the bloated dead body or swollen corpse. And the Vinilaka, the discolored corpse or bluish colored corpse. And Vipubbaka, the festering corpse, oozing corpse, or Vichidaka, the fissured corpse to 2 pieces. And Vikaitaka, that means mangled corpse by the animal, like that. And Vikittaka, dismembered corpse. It is by the maybe king order or by the bandits, right? And Hatavikittaka, cut and dismembered corpse. And Lohitaka, blood smeared dead body. And Pulavaka, wormy dead body. Atthika mean the corpse reduced to skeleton. So the each meditation subject you can attain first jhana. So if you practice in this way, as well as actually animate asubha repulsive objects like 32 parts of the body also we want to take here. Tika says both inanimate, those are the inanimate 10 thing, and animate 32 parts you have in your body, that is the repulsive object. This is the loathsome objects. Asubha, that is what is called particular object. Both animate and inanimate. So if you practice in this way only, your kāmacchanda or the sensual desire, you can dispel out, you can cast off. So abandon. So this is the way how to practice, and this is the intention of the Buddha. So next day we will move to Vyapada and other kind of 5 hindrances. Okay, let's today we can stop now. And thank you for having me. Thank you for everybody who attend to this Dhammadesana. And everybody accumulate kusala, and we need to share this kusala with everybody. Idamme punyang asavakraya vahang hotu. Idamme punyang nibbanasa paccayo hotu. Mama punyang bhagang sabbe sattanam bhajemi. Te sabbe me samang punyang bhagang labhantu. Buddha sasanam chiram tithatu. Buddha sasanam chiram tithatu. Buddha sasanam chiram tithatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.